And we're live. Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Monday night live coin Q&A show. We have a good show for you, I hope. We do this every Monday night. I'm just going to go ahead and dive in and introduce everybody, all the panelists that are on tonight. Let's go ahead and start with, I'm going to mix it up here. Let's go ahead and start with the guy below me, Chris.
You caught me off guard. Just kidding. Hey, everybody, I'm Chris, variety and error hunter extraordinaire. My specialty is Paula's got this look on her face tonight like she's up to no good. So I got to put that out there.
I'm just happy to be back.
Thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight to check us out and send us your coin pictures. I look forward to seeing what everybody has to share today. And let's get on with it, baby.
All right. Move to his, I guess his right there, or his left, whatever you want to say. Sean, Mr. Blue Ridge.
Does Chris have anyone to your right? A wall?
There might be somebody over there.
Yeah. Hope everyone's having a nice, phenomenal evening. Hard to believe we are knee-deep in January. I miss you guys. Miss all the panel members. You guys know me as Blue Ridge Silverhound on YouTube. I'm just the coin guy. Probably like a lot of you. That's why you're here. If you got coin questions, we will address them for you. See this email across the top? Yep. Send some good stuff our way, and maybe we'll highlight you on the video tonight or next week. But thank you for coming. Thanks, Jeff, and everybody for being here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
you guys are my friends.
Needy.
And Mr. Shay, Hoffmaster, Mantic Coins.
Yeah, hello everybody, and hope you're having a good start to the new year. I have been a coin roll hunter for a few years and learning the ropes and varieties and lately adding errors and doing a deep dive on those to learn more, bring myself up to speed, per se. And I guess my one of my favorite series is the 2-cent piece and half dimes, but I regularly hunt half dollars, quarters, pennies, or Lincoln cents, and anything I can get my hands on, really. So I'm really glad to see you guys, and don't forget we have t-shirts and hats on the website. You can visit us at livecoinqa.com. Glad you're here.
Please buy them.
And
back.
Next we have Miss Paula Bloom above Shay there. And by the way, somebody else in chat noticed you're here.
I saw Sandra. Thank you, Sandra. I just didn't blow dry it tonight. That's all. I have curly hair, kind of. I'm Paula Bloom. Some of you know me from Facebook groups. Some of you like me, some of you don't. Can't please everybody, I guess. Yeah, I'm very active in several of the Facebook groups. I've kind of shrunken that amount down with this one down here's insisting for my own mental health. If you ask me a question and if you don't want the truth or you don't want a straightforward answer, probably best not to ask.
My name is Paula, and I'm a YouTube addict.
No, actually, I'm sure some of the people in chat will notice that they have not seen me on YouTube. It's not that I don't love you guys and want to support you. It's just that Shay has a lot of projects that I really, really need to get busy get some work done on Numa's labs and help him out on that. And there's a lot of things that I really, really need to buckle down and get busy doing. And I could spend all day watching you guys on YouTube, and it's just not helping Shay at all. So if yeah.
Music to my ears.
Probably my favorite thing in numismatics is books, and errors and varieties, of course, but learning about errors and varieties, reading about coins, all types. I'm huge into exonumia. Michael Kittle's Coin Club did a big thing on hard times tokens and stuff this last week, and I loved every second of it because they're one of my favorites. Yeah, but I love to research and read about anything coin related or exonumia. So I have been busy on Facebook, Wanda. Don't tell. Wanda's telling on me. Right.
And then last but certainly not least, the one and the only corn and cob.
Corn.
Sorry.
Wow.
Coin and card hobbyist. I'm
Corn on the
hungry.
cob
I'm
hobbyist.
Sorry.
Oh man.
I'm just going to shut this down. Amanda. Sorry, Amanda.
That's okay. My name is Amanda. I've been coin collecting for about 8 or 9 years now. My favorite coins to search are Washington quarters. I'm also building a pretty large foreign coin collection. And I've missed the last couple Q&As, but I'm excited to be here tonight.
We're happy you're back.
I almost thought you were going to say you've been corn collecting for a long time.
You're not going to let that live down, are you?
I really want to make that into a sticker.
She's not going to dignify that with a response.
She'll probably beat me to it. I'll bet you anything. She's looking for things to make corn on the cob.
Sorry, Amanda. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry. That was awesome. I know she's laughing. She is.
Yeah, I think a sticker would probably be in order. I can picture it right now.
Yeah, she's a hit at all the state fairs.
I guess I'm next. My name is Jeff Stanley. I am sort of your host tonight, if I could get it together. My interest, of course, coin collecting, varieties, errors to a lesser extent, and my favorite series right now are Indian heads and Buffalo nickels, and then of course Jefferson nickels, and a whole lot of everything else. There's nothing that's not round and metal that I don't collect. That's about it. Me in a nutshell. My channel is Jeff Stanley Coins and Octane. I have not put out a whole lot of content lately, and I'm a little ashamed of that. But I'll do that. I'll put some out later and share some with this channel as well. Let's see. Let's go ahead and dive into our question. Something on being on Facebook this week. I've noticed there are a lot of new faces, new folks, and they've got questions. And one of the common questions was, how do I get started with roll hunting? How do the veterans go out and hunt coins through coin rolls? And a lot of it can be intimidating. You get that first box and you're like, okay, I've got this box of coins. Okay, what do I do with it? How do I go about looking for the good stuff in this box? And I thought that to go ahead and let everybody kind of chime in and answer kind of how they go in and break down a box and start hunting. What are their tips?
I'll go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I look at everything. It takes me a long time to go through a box of pennies. I'm not so much shields. I kind of lied. I don't really look at shields. If I was going to give somebody advice, though, just starting out, man, don't do it. don't just start out getting a box of pennies. There's so much that you need, because a lot of people get them and all they look for is wheat cents. And if that's how you want to do it, then that's great. If that's all you want to do, if you're not interested in anything else, any of the errors and varieties, which to me is the fun part. It's like a Easter egg hunt. But if that's all you want to do, then that's great. Assuming you're getting pennies. I mean, pick a denomination you like. Start out with that. Pennies are the cheapest. But I personally, I look at just about every coin. So I mean, yeah, that's simple. It's a simple, but that's how I do it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, I like to coin roll hunt, so I'm a little bit different than everybody else. A lot of people sort their coins by date or by decade or what have you. I don't. I love circulated mixed date rolls from the bank. Those are my favorite. Of course, I do like original bank wrapped rolls as well, but they're just, I get so bored so quick going through the same date, the same mint mark over and over and over. That's why I love the mixed rolls so much. I seem to have like a photographic memory when it comes to coins. I can't remember anything else. I forget birth dates. I forget names. But I can tell you where I bought a coin and how much I paid for it 10 years ago. I don't know why. But varieties are the same way. I remember loads and loads of varieties. So it's all up here. I do study and research, of course, but I just remember it all. It sticks with me. So I just go through each coin front and back. Very important. A lot of people only look at the front, and I was guilty of this when I started. You got to look at the reverse as well, because you're going to miss a lot of good stuff if you don't. There's a lot of good DDRs out there, or double die reverses. You can have cuts on the reverse. You can have all kinds of different things that you're not going to find if you're not looking at both sides of the coin. Familiarize yourself, as Paula said, pick a denomination. I do everything. I do nickels, half dollars, quarters, dimes, whatever. My favorite, of course, is pennies. But familiarize yourself with the obverse and reverse designs. Variety Vista has great examples of these. And, even though you may think that the Lincoln Cent looks the same for many, many years, there are subtle differences that the mint has done to these dies over time. And if you remember what they look like, you can pick an oddball out really easily. So I like to go through them, and if I see anything odd, I put it off to the side. I'll go through a couple rolls at a time, and then I go back to those oddballs and I look at them closer under my microscope. I have two microscopes. I have one that's about 20 to 30 times magnification power, and then I have another one that's about 100 times magnification power. So I use the first one to look at each coin. And it can help me identify something that's just not normal. But anything that's, not normal, I can't really tell exactly what it is until I put it under the other microscope. So then I'll go back through, I'll look at those, and if I'm still not sure if it's odd or if it's normal, I will compare it to other coins of the same exact date and mint mark and see if there's a difference. That's very important when you're comparing coins. Make sure it's the same date, because of those very subtle design changes, especially when you start getting into the 2000s. Some of the zeros look a little funny. Some of the dates are thicker than others. Unlike Paula, I love the shield cents because there are so many things to look for. Die clashes out the wazoo. You're going to find misaligned dies. You're going to find off-center strikes, believe it or not. I've found all of those in shield cents in circulation. And then let's not forget doubled dies. You're not going to find any RPMs, but you're going to find a lot of doubled dies. Most of them are very minor, but there's a few that stand out that knock your socks off. For modern double dies, there's some really strong ones out there. My absolute favorite is 2014 WDDO 003. That one is very strong, and there have been quite a few since then. 2015 has a couple really strong ones. 2019 has a couple pretty strong ones. So there's some good stuff to look for in the shields. So, hey, if Paula don't want to look for them, I'll find them. Of course, hers are way out the West Coast. But that's what I do. I just look at every single coin, obverse and reverse. And if I see something weird, I put it aside and look at it closer later. That's it.
Yep.
Now,
there's some guys that are out there rocking those shield scents, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's, Chris Hurley. He's probably somewhere here in chat. He's absolutely an animal. He likes to give me credit for teaching them the ropes, but you can teach somebody all day long, but they have to have those skills in order to get it. And he has it. He's able to pull that stuff out of circulation, and I love seeing what he pulls out. Another guy that you won't see around here, but he's on Facebook, Lake Silitok. He's also from PA, and he's another animal. He finds a lot of really good stuff. He's got other stuff going on right now, so he's not quite as busy, but with the coins. But what I was trying to get at is once you learn what you're looking at with these modern coins, and even the older ones, you can start to find stuff that hasn't been discovered before. And there's a lot of opportunity on these newer coins to get discovery pieces. I have a box full of them that I just have not sent in. Every one, I document it. I'm very meticulous about my documentation. I have a long spreadsheet. I have everything labeled with letters and numbers. And, oh, look, this one's number 5. This is a 2017 P that does not match any other one listed on any of the sites so far. So there's so much stuff out there to find. Just take your time and have fun.
Good. That's good advice.
And they're not easy to find. That's why it's so much fun. I mean, I've gone through several boxes before and not found anything. I know it gets discouraging. Sometimes you watch some of these YouTube videos and stuff, and these people are finding stuff every coin they look at. Well, no, they're not.
You cannot compare yourself.
They're just not.
Right.
So don't let that discourage you.
There's so many things. I mean, we could cover. I could talk for hours about pointers and helpful hints and tips, but really, what it comes down to is, if some people are fearful at first, they're going to have. And I can tell you that the more coins you search is directly proportional to the amount of fear you have. So over time, like Chris was saying, you'll start to identify things and you'll have them as images in your mind and you already know what to look for. But how do you get there? What do you do? I tried to come up with my own tricks. What would make me better? And that's going to be different for everybody. But I made lists, and I have them on like this little kind of cardboard. It's like thick foam board. And I made my list, and I have 3 or 4 of these, depending on the denomination. It's my top hit list of coins and the notes I have. Especially when I find them, I can add additional notes. So these are great because you can just stand them up anywhere and take them with you if you remotely hunt more. The equipment is important, having a good scope. Spending a little money on that. But I still, to this day, regularly visit all websites, depending on the series, and I like to look through. Look at my desk. This was a full jar of 83 Lincoln Memorials, and I've almost finished it. But that's all that was in the jar, and here's 96. So now I can make a short list and then just search those coins. The other big thing I want to tell you guys about is diversify. I have 13 or 14 different banks. One thing, in some places that's not feasible because some banks require a $100 deposit to open an account and a $100 minimum balance. And if you think about it, that would be $1,300 just sitting there doing nothing to keep accounts open. But I find that credit unions often have great deals. $5 in a savings account to open an account and get a checking account with no fees. You know, be relentless with the banks when it comes to fees. Cut your costs down as much as possible and keep it at zero. Find the credit unions with free member-only coin machines, and that's your dump bank. All right, and that's where you can take in your cheapest cost. Now, you know, and I'll pay $2.50 for a $500 box, a $50. If it's a new source, a different bank in a new area, I'll do that for a little bit, but I want that stuff free. And then I end up bringing things like cookies, and I find out what my tellers' names are and what they like, and I treat them well, and that will take you as far as you can go. You'll be getting boxes every week from different sources. So that constant searching is going to get you to 1 million coins searched in no time, reducing that fear, helping develop the patterns, and helping you find the stuff that you want to find, because it's all a law of numbers. So you won't find a 1 in a million coin unless you've searched 1 million coins. They're lucky, you know, they find it in the first batch. Some people spend a whole lifetime and still don't find the 69S Lincoln cent. All right, so you never know. It's not a great, you know, I don't have a mansion on the hill in a expensive community. I have not made enough, you know, I'm still employed. So don't quit your job, make a plan, have fun, and learn a lot, because it's going to take you years to learn all the information in this hobby.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shay. My best advice is to, you know, like Shay, you know, diversify, take on a new series. That's one thing, but you know what I'm doing right. Like, believe it or not, I never really searched Lincoln wheat cents before until a couple months ago. I mean, like really seriously bought like a whole bunch of them and started looking through them. So first thing I did was I've got a electronic form of the cherry pickers guide, and I did this. I'm such a nerd. I went out and I printed out the pickup points on some of the major ones to make sure I didn't miss these. And these sit here in front of me while I'm searching. The other thing I did was I took each year and I put each and every single year into its own cup, and you can see I'm kind of working through some. I'm gonna go ahead and focus. I'm working through some of mine right now that I broke down. You know, like here is 1946, and I usually use these little cocktail cups that I break everything down into. And the good thing about this is when I'm looking, like, you know, Shay was saying with the 83s, is you've got it kind of broke down into a single year, so that when you start looking through them, you're like, okay, that's the same, that's the same, that's the same. But then you run across something, okay, that's a little different, you know, or you're looking at the mint marks and you start noticing the subtle differences in what you're looking at, and that stuff starts to that stands out, and you go and you look and you research and you start using your other tools, your Wexlers and Variety Vista and copper coins, and you start looking at trying to attribute something that maybe you have found. Maybe you found something new. You know, I'll do the same when I go through you know, a box of Shield scents, or, you know, newer modern scents or whatever. I have looked through those a little bit. I've never looked at wheat scents before, and I have to say I'm slow at it, so I had to break it down like that. That's actually taken me a long time. I'm at the tail end of that bag that I got, but it's taken me it has certainly taken me a while.
Yeah, when I first started, I used those red cups. Those, what are they called?
Keg cups?
Red Solo cups.
Yeah, solo cups. I used those, and I had a date and a mint mark. I separated everything, but the more you do it, the the more you know, kind of know, like especially like certain varieties that you're looking for. I will pull like certain dates that I know have the potential to be like major varieties. I will separate those and go through those at a later time. But for the most part, I always look at every coin, like Chris said, to see, even the shields, I look for errors and clashes and things like that. I just don't look for double dies. I just don't. They're not for me. Sorry. I figure in 20 years, they're not going to be over. They're going to disappear. Poof. They're going to be dust.
Hey, Jeff, it was funny you brought up your little cherry picker guide thing because I thought I was the only one that made this stuff. My camera sucks, but I kind of made a couple of these a long time ago. I have one for cents. I have one for nickels. Just something that I started working on and never finished. But I just happened to have it laying here when you pulled that out, and it reminded me a lot of the one that I started working on. But pretty cool. You know, when guys like us get into it, and ladies, sorry, when we get into something like this, I go full tilt. So I made, I made a YouTube channel. I started writing blog articles. I'm on Facebook. I make my own cherry pickers guides. A long time ago, I had a really good idea, and Chuck kind of did something very similar, but I wanted to make index cards with, coins on them and varieties and errors. And, you guys remember those dinosaur cards years and years ago that you could get little packs. It was like a subscription service, and you get these big plastic boxes and build these sets. And I wanted to do the same thing with coins, but I just don't have the time. Oh yeah. There's the coin cards. Chuck has the coin cards. They're business card size. I wanted to do something very similar on a larger scale, but yeah, pretty cool. Looks like Paula has the whole set. Somebody did a little butt kissing to get that, huh?
Oh, Chucky!
No, he used to send them. When he first put them out, he sent them with purchases that you made.
So you're telling me you got every one of those with a purchase?
I did.
Wow, you got way too much money.
No, it didn't matter whether you spent $1 or $100. You got a coin card.
I got a couple. All right. So did anybody else have something to add, or do we want to dive on into our submissions this week?
Oh, wear gloves, by the way, because it's dirty work.
Yes, please.
That's my contribution to it.
Yes, please.
All the good stuff's taken.
Well, and if for nothing else, coins are gross.
Yeah.
There was one more thing, and I wanted to say it because the professor used to hit on this. All right. So let's say you looked at $0.50 every minute for 10 hours a day. And then you did that 10 hours a day for a full year. You know how many coins you looked at? 219,000. Now, if you extrapolate just that 1964 Kennedy half dollars, silver Kennedy half dollars, there were over 200 million. I think it's like 238 million. All right. Now think about how many coins you're actually searching in a year, and then extrapolate that with how many coins do you think you have to look at before you can find one of these rare varieties, right? And it just all of a sudden seems like an impossible task, right? Because I could search 20 years and still not find certain varieties because I've only hit a couple of million coins out of hundreds and hundreds of millions, billions of coins that were minted.
You know what's even harder than that? Spelling extrapolate.
Yeah. I don't know. I like to look at it that way. So
no,
there's a lot of
entirely in numbers.
Are you making me math tonight? No, don't do it.
Well, that's a good way to figure out if somebody wants to set a goal on how many coins they want to search in a certain amount of time. That's a good way to utilize that. Now, for me, it takes me on average about 3 minutes to go through one roll of pennies.
Yeah.
And that's on average. It's about 3 minutes. So, you can use that to figure out how long it would take you to go through a box and figure out how much time you have, and you can set goals based on that. And everybody knows when you set a goal and you achieve those goals, you will see results. So maybe that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. And always set the coins aside that you don't quite understand. You think there's something on them, but you don't quite understand. Look at it for a little bit, do a little bit of research. If you can't find anything, set it aside. Don't spend 10 days posting in every Facebook group trying to figure out just to find out that coin is damaged. Set it aside, get some more knowledge, educate yourself, maybe ask around a little bit here and there, but don't obsess over one coin.
Yeah.
Now that she said that, I have a very important lesson, and especially if you're pretty new and you're motivated to jump in and you're buying boxes left and right of coins. Please, guys, give yourselves periodic breaks.
Yes.
Rest those eyes, because it will test every fiber of your being. It used to be probably 10 years ago, I would start roll hunting on a Saturday morning after breakfast and be done right before dinner. I mean, some sessions can go that long. Pennies, I would say, is probably more on the advanced side of searching, only because of all the varieties and things you can find in there. But yes, please do rest these, because your eyes you will go blind. You will. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Especially if you look at shield sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look what it did for me.
Your vision will look like Chris's webcam.
Yeah, very blurry. And when I first turn it on, it's green.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So who's got our first submission for tonight? And that was good input, everybody. I didn't realize I was going to be that hot of a topic. Amanda's got us.
Thanks, Amanda.
All right, I'll get this one from Steve Price. We have a 2020p dime. My last send in maybe. Thank you all for taking the time to look and give feedback on the coins I submitted for the extra eyes and guidance. Thank you, panel.
Hope it's not your last send in.
She's a beauty, guys. Are you guys ready for a dime redesign?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I think we've been long overdue.
I'm about sick of looking at Roosevelt.
I think it's a little bit off that flame.
Yeah, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
On the left side of the lower side of the frame.
Well, there's also an anomaly right below the first set of bands on the torch.
Yeah, that's what I saw first, Chris.
I'm not really sure what that is. They could be related. Let's see. I have a 2020 dime right here.
The first thing that comes to mind, and it might be the furthest thing of what it could actually be, is a couple possible die gouges.
That's what
just placed ever so in the right position for it to look like something. I mean, it's really cool. I like that thing on the flame there.
Yeah, that is pretty neat.
Unexpected. It's a happy accident, is what they call that.
Yeah, I think I told them that I thought it was a die gouge, but I was not ready to rule out that it could be a DDR. I wanted everybody to look at it because it is very interesting. If you look close, it does kind of continue on. So if we could get closer.
There we go.
Yeah.
Boy, it is very interesting.
Mhm.
That's peculiar.
If I didn't see that other anomaly below that band, I would definitely be on the DDR train.
Yeah.
But that other anomaly there, it's raised about the same height.
Mhm.
It even goes into the raised portion of the design.
It even kind of looks like a tool mark, you know? Like a,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lean with Sean here and say some sort of die gouge.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with
No,
you.
Can you pan the image over to maybe the leaves and the olive sprig, and let's see if we could maybe identify other tool marks? Because if there's a couple right there might be others.
I mean, I see abrasion lines below the leaves there, right above EBU.
Yeah.
So as soon as you see those, you can think that, okay, they were abrading the die for some purpose. So
Yeah.
you know, these they try to save these and extend the life of the dies as long as they can.
And remember,
I also saw a little something above the flame on the torch there in that little field right there at the bottom of the
yeah.
S.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we have seen a lot of these 2020s with clashes and feeder finger gouges and, you know, all kinds of issues.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stick with Sean here and say die gouge. And my guess is that those abrasion lines are evidence of them trying to repair something. Very cool placement, though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say I mean, it's definitely not one to just put in the common die gouge category. I mean, I would, you know, there's some die gouge, you know, coins with die gouges that are.
Yeah, it's like the extra flame or something.
This was this was deserving of a vernacular name, extra flame. I like that.
The Jefferson nickel with the speared buffalo on the back comes to mind.
Yeah, because you better believe there are other examples with the same.
Oh yeah.
Same marks.
What year was that? 2020.
It is. You're right. Seamus said that's a good eye to discover that. That is, and it's awesome that somebody knows that coin well enough to know that that's not part of the normal design. Because I think a lot. I even had to go look at 2020 dimes just to see if maybe they had changed the design or something, and that was a normal part of the design.
That's a great point, Paula. And that's why a lot of us were saying, you know, put your coins in a jar or a cup all with the same date, because you develop that pattern recognition for that certain design for that year. And it really helps identify what's different and what's the same, right? Makes it stand out to you.
Yeah, Adam, it's a P mint. It's Philly.
But yeah, congratulations on that. That is awesome. Seamus, thank you for pointing that out. That's
helpful.
What he says.
I paid $5,000 for that on Etsy.
Oh my God. Man.
Oh, he's kidding.
You know, since the theme of the day was coin roll hunting, I'd kind of like to work through just real quick how I came to the conclusion, and Sean probably came about the conclusion the same way. And I love using the phrase context clues because it's something I learned back when I was in school in English. But when I saw this, the first thing I thought was possible clash. Although usually you'll see the clash most evident on the flat part of the coin rather than the raised point, it's not uncommon to also see it in the devices. So I went and did a quick Google search for an overlay of a Roosevelt dime, and there's nothing in those areas that would match, even if it had a slight rotation or slight misalignment. So that ruled that out. Then I started thinking, okay, possible DDR, because the one in the flame area kind of follows the same direction, has the same similar look as the bottom of the flame. So it definitely was a possibility. When I saw that other anomaly below the band, then I started thinking, okay, I was on the same train as Sean there for die gouge. Then as we looked at more of the surface of the coin and we see those diabrasion lines below the leaves above EPU, and then in between the E and S of states, that leads me to believe that they definitely did some dressing of the die to try to remove something, whether it be a clash or a gouge or something. So all of those things I use to try to figure out exactly what it is, and I could still be way off base, but I think this is probably the most educated guess about it being a die gouge. And that I just wanted to give a quick rundown of how I work through these things. When there's nothing to compare it to, there still are ways, deductive reasoning, to find out what it really is.
Diagnostics, good diagnostics.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you guys because Captain Jigga brought up a really interesting point, because the Wounded Eagle sack dollar that we all know and love became an attributed variety, and all it is just a die gouge on the device. Could someone actually look at this and submit it to become an actual attributed variety? Call it an extra flame or what have you.
Well, I think you got to get it in front of the right people.
Yeah.
You know, those things that get those terms, man, those terms are usually coined by someone who is very big in the hobby, already has a name for themselves, and they come across these things. And unfortunately, I think they give them these terms to get the notoriety and increase the value of it. Because let's face it, die gouges themselves really aren't uncommon. Sometimes the placement of them makes for a really interesting looking coin, but at the end of the day, it's still a die gouge. So you find a cool placement and give it a cool term and get it in front of the right people, and boom, you have a winner. But that's pretty tough to do, I think. You know, and some of them fizzle out. You know, think about the spitting horse, the Delaware spitting horse. It's a die crack. Well, that thing was really popular when people first started discovering it. And then people realized very quickly that there's probably 1,000 different versions of it, and on millions of coins. So it's not uncommon. The extra claw die chip on the Alaska quarter.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a lot of these things are really cool at first, and then people realize, oh, wow, it's kind of common. It's more common to find one of those with the extra claw than it is to find a normal one. But then you have the few, like the speared bison nickel or the wounded eagle, and there's not a whole lot of them out there, and they're kind of extreme, and there's a lot of value there. So it's tough. It's hard to figure out.
Yeah. You bring up a good point with the speared bison. I mean, that's something that has lived on to become one of the coolest kind of like, you know, oops accident type coins that ultimately has a following. Therefore, it got the speared bison, you know, name. And they're really not that easy to find. And the examples that are out there, I mean, you're going to end up spending, you know, $100 to $200 just to own. You know, in reality, it is just a die gouge scratch thing.
I know I've hunted nickels religiously, and I've never found one. Of course, I've never found a double die 2004 handshake either.
No.
Yo.
And I've been through quite a few BU rolls of both of those.
Yeah.
You know, there is another option too that people don't talk about very often. If you're a member of Kaneka, you can write articles. You can write articles on finds and new things like this.
Yeah.
And submit them and send them in.
Make a case.
You know, make your case. Yep. Make your case. Give it a cool little name and make your case. And if you're not a member, you should be. Just saying.
Yeah, and I will tell you this. I mean, that they're an established error, group that have been around for a long time. But don't kid yourself into thinking that they get hundreds of thousands of pieces of mail. I mean, they're big enough in the community, but they're still small enough to receive, your inquiries about something because they have a number of really good people working there.
Yeah, and I think they get really excited.
Yeah.
People that, especially new collectors and stuff, when they have cool little discoveries and things. If nothing else, maybe you'll get a letter back from somebody explaining what they think it is.
Yeah. Might as well do it now because a lot of the guys that work that volunteer their time with Kaneka and all that stuff. I mean, they're getting along in the years. So,
All right. Thank you. That was a good kickoff there. I love that.
Oh, and by the way, sorry, Jeff, I just wanted to give kudos to the submitter of actually looking through dimes.
Heck yeah.
Well, you say that, Sean, but I was sitting here pulling out my dump bucket because I'm getting ready to. I know I've had like loads of 2020 dimes that I've gotten in pocket change. I'm going through every single last one of them now.
Keeper of the Flame. That's a good one, Eddie.
Yeah. Thanks for the project.
I love Airoscope too, Wanda. I love my Airoscope.
Yeah, Captain Jigga is cornering the market on Wounded Eagles. God bless you, man. They're awesome.
So from Shannon Smith, 1943 P. Warnickel. Hey, panel, hope all is well with you. I'm hoping that this is my first real official cherry pick from my local coin shop. I won't bore you with details, but I will say my cost was $1.10. Did I do good? Hoping for a pat on the head. Dude, if you did good, I'll give you a smack on the ass. How's that?
All right.
43P. We got two things we're looking for, right?
Oh, look at this one.
Is that what I think it is?
On that star.
Sure is.
And the 3.
Yeah, you can't deny that one.
Yeah, can you get in a little closer?
Oh, wow.
43 over 42.
So I submitted this because I wasn't sure about it. I don't like the bottom of that 3. But
well, there are other 43s with that same type of anomaly that people mistake it for the 43 over 2 when in reality it's just a crack or a chip.
If you look at the bottom loop of that 3, there's usually a straight like part of the 2 that comes. I'll show you.
And I see it on this one. I see a little hump sticking out there.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I'm
Hey,
not
Amanda,
a nickel person, so.
Hey Amanda, can you orient that previous picture of the close up of the date so
I'll
that
show you.
it's horizontal?
I'm just going to share my screen here. See that horizontal cross bar on the 3? I didn't see that on his. And that little.
Well, his is worn, so keep in mind you're not going to see the separation.
No, this is what I'm looking at though. This part right here.
Yeah.
The flat
Yeah. And I didn't see that. But
look at the thickness on his, though. You're not going to see that separation line because of the wear on the coin. So you have to look at the thickness instead. If that horizontal bar weren't there, think about how thin the bottom of that 3 would be.
Can you show his again, Jeff?
Yeah. Where'd she go?
I think Amanda's having some technical difficulties.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my computer's kind of slow turning it
You
around.
can also check out the mint mark position on the reverse too. But, oh, Amanda's the one doing it. Sorry, Amanda. I'm not a nickel person. So I looked at this thing for a long time though. And that's why I didn't answer.
I'm hopeful. I'm hoping.
Well, I
I'm
felt
always
like
hoping.
what I thought I saw at first, because it was extra thickness on that date, and the star looked like it had split in it. But maybe I was just not seeing it because it was not close enough. But was I imagining that split?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I looked at that 3 for a long time, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw this in the queue and let the guys talk about it because.
Let me see if I can.
Well, there is supposed to be a strong spread towards center in God We Trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's supposed to be splits on the T. I mean, the Y, like.
And then and then on Liberty, there's supposed to be a clockwise spread.
It looks like they're saying that the reverse is listed as DDR FS101. So.
Yeah, that one's going to be tough to tell on a worn coin, though.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
I think the best place to look would be the bottom left of the E and the N in cents.
Yeah, that's not gonna. I don't think that's good. Oh, there it is.
The only thing that is casting doubt in my mind is that I'm looking at it without looking at any other pickup points on the coin.
Look at the mint mark position, Amanda.
The inner curl of the 3, where it would be flat to show the base of the 2, is not on there.
Yeah.
It's rounded.
Right.
And I've seen my fair share of 43 over 42s in pretty worn shape. Kind of like that AG to good. To feel confident.
I got to tell you, mint mark position looks pretty damn close to me.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
It says we're looking for DDR also. DDR 002.
Yeah, I don't think we have good enough pictures of the reverse.
Looks like there's some pretty good splits in 5 cent. So you should see pretty good splits on the E and N of cents. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see them.
We get a shot of Liberty, in particular the I and the E.
Yeah, I'm actually liking the T and the Y of Liberty, Jeff. That's pretty strong too.
Oh, can't see enough of the top where the split is at on the E and the top of the I. It's the rim has started to wear into the letters. That is the problem with circulated war nickels. Is when they wore poorly.
Yep. All I can say is check out the T and Y and Liberty. You should be able to see some splits near the top.
I see what Shay's talking about with the star there.
Star, yeah, I just saw that, but that's not showing on the listing.
No.
Well.
Yeah,
actually,
it
if you
is.
look real close, there's a shadow on the listing on
Yeah,
Variety.
I see it. Yeah.
And I think it's blocking that. So,
Yep.
That's a good eye, Shay.
Yep, I see it.
You know what, Ida? We do look pretty darn good, thanks to you.
Yep. Official Coin Q&A outfitter.
Oh, good night, Scott. I don't know if you already left. I didn't see in time.
I don't know. I see enough to say it's it.
Well, I'm gonna go with what you say.
Aw, you're so nice.
So,
Yeah. That's
like I said, I looked at
nice
it. I was not gonna say one way or the other because I wasn't comfortable. So.
Well, you are a stickler for that mint mark position. So did that sell you or not?
I did match the mint mark position on it, but
well, think about what the chances are of having a 3 that kind of matches the DDO with a mint mark on the reverse that matches.
yeah, and I didn't read to see if anywhere along there they changed the reverse on them or anything. So
I don't see anything about that
I didn't
listed
either.
here. Typically, they will list that.
Yeah.
Let's look at the DDR real quick, and I'm not.
I don't see that it says that it was ever changed.
No, so I'd say you got a winner. Not bad for $1.50.
$1.10.
Oh, $1.10.
$1.10.
Captain Jigga said that M in America is super doubled. On his coin, Captain Jigga, or on the listing? Because, yeah, on the example, on the listing, I mean, there's some notches for sure, but there's notching all over.
I need to switch over to Variety Vista on that. There's not a whole lot.
Right, Eric? Yeah, Eric says, I see enough, I'd buy it for $1, right? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Brian has more markers or.
Not in this case. He doesn't.
The problem with this is that like everywhere there's splits that you're looking for is not showing on his coin.
Well, you've got in the case of Liberty. I mean, you've got the rim has worn down into the devices, into the letters. That makes it tough. That's where the splits are.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is a super low ball example.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean that's another nickel Jeff has never found.
Hey, watch Shannon is going to come back with the 42D over horizontal D. Then you'll really feel, really be feeling it.
Okay. Do we have another one? Are we just going to look at this coin? It's a nickel.
Move on from nickels.
It's a nickel.
Oh no! And what do we have?
Another nickel.
All right, I'll read this one from Shannon Smith, 1943 War nickel. Hey again, panel. Okay, so I must admit that I looked through
This is the same one.
nickels. Oh no!
Yeah, he got it for $1.10.
The same one. You're right.
Well, he sent 2 emails about 2 separate 1943p nickels.
for another $1.10. So
another
Paula was
okay.
also a good cherry pick. Thanks, Paula.
Sorry. Sorry.
It's slightly different.
I think it was Shmoo, Eddie.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lambda.
I'd buy that for $1.
Lamination.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said it was in the scrap silver. Nice. Listen, I have heard and seen people find some amazing errors and varieties in scrap silver.
Yeah, one dealer's trash is another person's treasure.
Right?
Yeah, I'm not above digging through a bag of war nickel
Heck no.
in the scrap silver.
Oh yeah, I dumpster dive all the time.
Yeah, good angle on that too. Nice job with the pictures to really show that off.
Don't peel it off.
Somebody's gone to the SEMA School of Photography. He does an excellent job with his angle shots.
Oh, well, Seamus, if you're too busy to go through that little tub of Lincoln memorials, you can, you know where you can send them.
Oh, yeah.
238 Laurel Street, Minersville, PA.
Nope, that's the wrong address.
That was a while ago, Paula. Go on live chat.
I'm on live chat. I know. I scrolled back up because him and Wanda were having a conversation, and I got nosy.
That was an A and B conversation, Paula. You need to see your way out.
And by the way, where are my manners? I forgot to say hello to everybody in chat.
Listen, Linda.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda.
No, the name is Karen, okay?
Karen, oh my gosh. If you guys have not watched Karen's in the Wild, do yourself a favor. Watch Karen's in the Wild.
Yes.
How about Karen's in Oregon?
Well,
Ooh.
They have a board game.
Brad's path, right?
Hey, we were speaking about coin roll hunting and earlier, and I want to show everybody a cool storage system. It may or may not be useful to you, but these black binders are pretty cheap, right? They're 3-ring binders, all right? And then you can get these insert pages, and you can get the nice non-plasticized flips for your coins. You can put a label on them. You could have every year PDS or whatever mints and all the different normal coins for a series, and then on the end, you tack on a page for your RPMs and your DDOs and your strike throughs, your classes, your buyers, all the different things that you can find, your laminations, your cuts. You could have pages and pages of these things, and it really adds depth to the collection that you built. And if you're a coin roll hunter, you will be finding that stuff. So you have to decide what to do with it. Are you going to put it in a tube and look at, pull out a tube and then look through it over and over? Or are you going to go ahead and put a label, put it in a flip, and put it in the book so you can look at it nicely and it's organized? Organize early, because if you wait, it's too big. Too big. There you go. Just wanted to throw that in there because I'll have in each series book that I have, I'll have the laminations because I like laminations. They're cool, or woodies, or cuds.
I love them, Seamus. Oh my gosh, I love watching those.
And that way you can come back and somebody says, "Hey, do you have an example of a cud on a Lincoln Cent?" Sure. Boom, boom, boom. There it is.
Yeah.
I'm an organization freak. Ask anyone on the panel.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we're all just nodding our head.
I am going to the Texas Money Show on the 23rd, and I believe I'm going to go to the
canceled?
Houston show. Huh?
It's not canceled?
I don't think so.
Yeah, everything's canceled.
All right, Shay, I'll see you there, buddy.
You're
Are
going?
you going?
I need a show to go to.
I want to go.
Oh man! Wait,
You heard it
what is that?
right
What is
here.
that, Shay?
I want to go.
Houston Money Show,
What date is that?
the 23rd. You can see the listing on CoinZip. I checked it a week ago and it was still on. So
God bless you guys.
You got to wear your shirt so people can
oh heck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
shirt and hat.
Yeah, I actually have a big one. So you guys know that big expensive one that I got for my slabs? I don't buy those anymore. I buy the Jeep binders.
Yeah. Look at that.
Slabs.
Oh, look at that slab binder.
I had to start a new one. Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to spend $60 on a new lighthouse?
No, that was stupid.
They are nice though.
They are nice. It is
They have the
great.
slip cover. You know, they look all official and stuff.
Been there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been
So
there.
after the first one, I ain't buying anymore.
But now I'm getting it.
Does that one have all your double eagles in it?
No, that's in my lighthouse.
Oh.
No, that's in my safe.
Your double eagles.
In my safe down there.
What do you say?
Yeah. Right.
Do I have a cut on a Lincoln set? Hey, for those of you looking for interesting things on Lincoln Cents, you can't beat this book right here.
Oh yeah, yeah. The hardest book to find ever.
He gave it to me. That was one of the best gifts. One of the best gifts of 2020.
Hey Shay, I'll give you a double eagle for that book.
Ooh, a double eagle? That's all right.
How could you say no, right?
That is worth.
You can't ask him that in front of me.
Yeah, it's worth its weight in
If
gold.
you ask him in private, I have no way of knowing if he makes that trade with you.
Hey, you know what, Polly? You could match that offer because I know you have a full Lighthouse album full of double eagles, so it's all good.
I am thinking of short-term leases.
90 days, same as cash.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll go the Rent-A-Center route on that book.
That was a lucky find. And
Yeah, it was.
when I saw the look on his face, I could not ask for that book back.
I think I cried for an hour.
It was a very lucky find.
For an hour. Oh,
Yeah. That's another one of my favorite pastimes. These guys go through eBay looking for cherry picks, and I look through books.
Like
the books are cherry picks.
They are cherry picks. They are.
I've cherry picked books.
Yeah. I have too.
Are we ready for our next?
Yep.
Yep.
By the way,
Next.
Everybody's
I'm
in
almost ready
chat.
for bed.
They're like, did they forget we're here? We're here. Hello. There's your-
From Base D, 1979, Susan B. Anthony, mint mark help. Hi, I found the Susan B. Anthony dollar at the laundromat. It has a rim around part of the obverse of the coin. Is this considered off-center? My main question is help with the mint mark. Which mint is it? Is this an error or damage? Thank you in advance for your help. Who?
That's a P.
Who? Yeah, that one's a blob.
It's a blob P. It's a P blob.
Without seeing the other side, I'd say you have a very, very slightly misaligned die. And a P mint mark that has been filled in because a little piece of the mint mark punch kind of broke off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can see it there.
One of the ugliest women to ever.
I'm lagging really bad. Am I okay, you guys?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
I'm lagging really bad.
I think that's a man with a wig.
How come Shay? That's you in chat, right?
Oh, it switched me from live coin Q&A all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
it switched me too because I can't make you a moderator.
Technology, yo.
You know, I love a lot of Frank Gasparo's work, but you can really see it here, right? I mean, I know he wanted to do a different Susan B on the front, but it's still that's the eagle and the eye and the Susan B. That's pretty good. You know, he would cut out newspaper clippings and other things and arrange them and then draw them and do all sorts of things. Take a little bit from this one and take a little bit from that one, and I don't know. I find it curious in studying some of his medals and coins that he did for the U.S. Mint, and just you can see a trend in the way he designs, and so I'm a fan.
I think it was lazy of them to use that reverse.
Yeah, same as the eye.
Yeah, I think that was lazy. I do believe he had another reverse design in mind.
Well, I love the flowing hair that he had for the front. That would have been beautiful.
Yeah, that was a neat design.
I don't like the Susan B. Anthony. I think it looks like Bruce Jenner.
Well, you know, even the
Caitlyn Jenner.
Even the younger version would have been better than
yeah.
This, so.
Although, you know, you look at it, her chin, the chin bothers me. But you look at pictures of her, and she really had that chin.
I would like to say something, though.
Okay.
This is a very easy set to complete.
Yes. Good point.
3, 6, 9.
Even with the varieties.
15, 18.
Yeah. Hey, Chad.
You got the wide rim, narrow rim on the date there. You want to look for it. And one way you can find it is take a 1980 and put it side by side your 1979. And you'll notice there's a gap between the date and the rim. And if you find a gap that's smaller, looks like the 1980, then it's worth a few extra bucks. I've seen them go for 10, 12, all the way up to $20 sometimes.
Even in this condition.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah, it was a nightmare.
And then of course the 81 80 and 81S.
79S and 81.
81.
Yeah.
Knowing
that mint mark, because they changed the mint mark punch, it went from blobby to nice and thin. Well, thinner.
Yeah, the trick to those is getting the full set.
Yeah, I mean you can actually sell a set like that with that S mint mark, the type 2, 79 type 2, a full set. I think what 200.
Oh, they get up there. If you have the full set,
yeah,
they get up there.
And I've cherry picked those for
like 1 or 2 of the coins in them, but
I've cherry picked those for $10-12.
Yeah.
I need to order I've got the full set. I finished it last year. I need to order the Capital Plastic that actually holds all of the varieties, including the 79 narrow date, wide rim, and then the both of the proof S's on 79 and 81, and then all of the finishes, the different strikes. It's just
I have the Whitman Classic album here. It's only 2 pages, but it has the entire set, and then there's an extra slot available, which I have the wide rim in. So both varieties of 79 and 81 proof, as well as the business strikes and other proofs, and the wide rim, 18 coins total. That's your set.
Nice.
Yeah. You've got the full set, Chris, but to really complete the set, you gotta have this.
Oh, interesting.
Pitted prunes, baby.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, some folks like a sense of completion early, and that's for the win right there.
Hey, do you guys know the parallel between the SBA and the Morgan dollar?
The parallel.
The parallel?
Nope.
Like,
Tell us, Sean.
The coincidental, I guess, whatchamacallit. That don't tell you? Are you still trying to figure it out, Chris?
No, tell us.
Oh,
Tell
okay.
us. Please do.
All right. So, in terms of the coins, I mean, they're both face value of $1. The Morgan dollar started in 1878 and went all the way up to 1904. And they brought the coin back in 1921 for one very specific reason, and that's to launch the peace dollar design. Well, they did the same with the Susan B. Anthony. Now it's a much shorter series, from 1979 to 81. They brought it back specifically in 99 as kind of a launching point to introduce the new manganese Sacagawea dollars. There you go. After a hiatus of an indeterminate amount of time, they brought the coins back to launch a new dollar.
I never thought of that. That's interesting.
It's a beautiful, beautiful story, Sean. Beautiful story.
Cool story, bro.
So now, did they decide to bring the Morgan dollar back for?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Legislation.
does that mean another Susan B's in the works for some
Hopefully not.
sometime?
It's like re-release. What is that? That Olympic commemorative modern coin that they released back in the 80s with it's a lady that's side view profile, but she looks like a man. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about? I think it's the clad Olympic commemorative.
Olympic commemorative.
Bruce Jenner.
It was like 86 or something like that. It was probably one of the ugliest designs on a modern commemorative ever made. Shay will get his book or his red book.
Everybody's Googling.
Everybody's Googling. And they also passed the legislation for the women's suffrage quarters. So we have another quarter program. Huh?
When are they going to launch that?
22.
Oh my God. Sean, are you
series.
talking about the Special Olympics coin? 1995, and it almost looks like the Columbian expedition, but facing the other way.
Yeah, and that's a she, but it looks like a he.
Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so.
Man, that thing is fugly.
You don't have to tell me that. That is one of the worst.
I don't think it was an up for debate.
So I think the women's suffrage quarters are going to be from 22 to 27.
And then they're going to do it. They have another plan after that.
And then they have like the Special Olympics, and they have,
Ooh, Paula, you'll finally be on a coin.
For which one? The women's suffrage or the?
For having to suffer through listening.
We'll be right in the middle. Still be the transition.
All of you are going to so burn. I mean, it's a Special Olympics commemorative, right? 95.
So,
It's not a special person on it.
Is it the clad one or the silver, Shay? It's clad, right?
I'm
I know,
already.
right?
Well, they have a silver version of it too.
Yay, another quarter program. Woohoo. Just bring back the Eagles. Come on.
Hey, Shay, that's the one coin that if you turn it in for its silver value, that they give you like half the silver value. You think it's that coin.
Whoa. Oh, God.
If you have that coin in your hand, never say face value.
Face.
The hits keep coming.
You guys. Okay, I gotta show it.
I'm not with them. I'm not with them, you guys. I'm not with them.
If you're not with us, you're against us.
That's right.
She's like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. And we're all looking at the picture.
Yeah.
This is when censorship would come in handy.
No.
Hello? Where are you?
Boom! Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that is not a woman.
Yes, that is a woman.
Now,
That-
you know what? I want you to look at something real close here. Can you make Shay's picture really big? Can you blow him up?
Don't say it, Christopher.
No. So
Tread carefully, sir.
the same face as the freaking buffalo nickel. Put your hand around the hair and just look at the face. That's
Oh,
the
you have a good point.
That's the buffalo nickel face, man.
Hang on.
Oh my God.
Hey, I will say this. That 95 Special Olympics that you see right there,
That is the same.
top 200 coin designs for 95 in all countries right there. Top 200.
Wow.
Look at that. If you put that right next to the Special Olympics coin and face to face, it's like a mirror image. It's freaking Sitting Bull, man.
She makes
Oh.
a handsome woman.
There's no way that's a woman.
It is.
It is. And now I'm going to go and read about who that is here in the Red Book when we get off, and I'm going to feel guilty for laughing.
I'm not going to feel guilty because she's uglier than Susan B. Anthony.
Dang it.
Yeah, how'd she end up with the COVID haircut back in 95?
That's not nice.
Okay, I'll stop.
The Christmas.
But Shay, you have to take the picture down. That's part of the deal. If you want the conversation, and you too, Paula, you're not helping the cause with your Buffalo nickel.
The Crypt Keeper.
Is that Eunice Kennedy Shriver? Is that who that is?
Yes.
Wow.
Huh.
Eunice. Ooh.
That's quite interesting. Although, you know,
If that's her, that is the most ridiculous rendition of her ever because she actually was a very beautiful woman.
That was
Even
not a very,
in her
that was not a
late
very flattering likeness of her when they designed that coin.
It's like that
Wow.
Lucille Ball statue that somebody did that was so terrible that you hear about.
well,
I mean, if that's her, it must be when she's 99.
you know, they don't always come out with great coins.
Well, here's the thing: when they design these, don't they have to like pass? They have to pass, right? So a bunch of people have to look at the design and give their thumbs up. I don't know how anybody could give their approval on that.
They were hungry and wanted to go to lunch and just get the vote done and over with.
Oh God, yeah. Shriver
Oh
wasn't
my
there.
gosh, Shay.
She would have said, "What?"
Am I wrong about that, Shay? I mean,
no,
it-
it's so close. it's like if I could tilt that image just a little bit backwards, it would almost be dead on. It's almost like they used the same Galvano and just carved into it a bit. Here, let's just take some time and start from this. Wow.
Wow is right.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, Amanda. Ida, how can she compete with that?
Yeah, she's not on mute. She just elected not to be part of the conversation. I don't blame her.
She's a better person than.
Yeah. I mean, we are legit talking about numismatics, and
Yeah.
I mean,
part of it is to be fair, part of it is the artwork, and when you put out some art.
But I mean, eye appeal is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if you'd lose some grading points just because of the coin itself.
Paula's upset now. She's so upset.
Oh no.
Yeah, believe it. So we're not making fun of the event or the actual commemoration of the Special Olympics. Yeah, we're not.
We're not.
It's just the likeness of the coin and the personality that was supposed to be, a lot better than that. That's for sure.
Yeah, basically the coin's ugly. It has nothing to do with what the coin's about.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I mean, you could look at some of the other foreign nations that have some of the ugliest coins out there. Quite a few of them, might I add.
Yeah.
All right.
What else we got? From Eric Moritz, 2020 dime. Hey, guys and gals. I wonder if you can give me your thoughts on how to qualify this one. My thoughts are very heavy feeder finger die abrasion and a few struck through something's grease with debris, maybe, would be my thoughts. Thoughts on how it came through the oak branch the way it does would be awesome. Sorry for all the picks, but very hard to get the lighting on new coins. I agree. Right, and view changes with the lights, as you can see. By the way, I'm with Sean. Y'all who do search times consistently have my admiration.
I was gonna say, if you're trying to, that's cool. If you're gonna try and search silver and you have no access whatsoever to half dollars, I'd say dimes is the best next option.
That is pretty cool. You got a couple things going on there.
Yeah, definitely see the typical feeder finger damage. Certainly going the typical direction.
Is that strike throughs there?
Oh yeah, big ones.
That is crazy looking.
Big ones. Hey, look, I'm gonna have some Eunice pumpkin seeds.
Oh.
No, we're not. Nobody wants to see that.
Isn't that cool? That one's so cool. I love that one.
That's awesome.
What's the date of this one again? The Philadelphia, I'm sure.
That's another 2020. Yep.
Yeah, I love that one.
Nice find.
Yeah, I forgot who said it on our stream probably a month ago, who said that the quality on 2020 coins were garbage.
They are garbage.
Yeah, throw this back.
But that's not garbage. That's okay. As long as they come out garbage like that.
Yeah, I love that. Oh.
Yeah.
Man,
plus.
Oh, you know what, Brian Johnson? I don't care. I don't care. I think that, listen, people need to quit being so touchy and offended by everything. I mean, 99% of the time when people say things, they're not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to hurt Susan B. Anthony or Bruce Jenner's feelings. I'm just stating a fact.
No need to apologize.
If you get
I don't understand the whole hurting everybody's feelings and offending everybody. You know, it didn't happen most of my life. So
Nobody can take a joke anymore.
if somebody said something that hurt my feelings, I told them where to stick it, and it was over.
Well, somebody that gets offended probably hasn't watched a single movie, read a single book, or watched Netflix, cable TV, or anything else, because they'd always be offended by everything. So,
I mean, look at half the stuff I say to Paula.
Right. I offend most of the time.
Some of the foul language we've offended folks the first 5 minutes.
Paula,
kind of get that out of the way early.
No, I do. I say self.
Yeah, Sean did that last week.
No comment.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that offended anybody in chat. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, I'm offended when somebody.
I'm just old school, I guess. I really think that most people are good people and have good intentions, and I don't know. Like I said, watch Karen's in the Wild.
I'm offended by people that get offended so easily.
Yeah, that's Peter Figure damage.
That's offensive.
The dye made that under the bands there, under the torch at the top there.
Yeah, and there's some nice little structures going on.
Over there on the leaves and the branches over on the right side there. That's awesome. Who knows what that could be?
I'm trying to figure out how it appears to go behind the devices on the oak leaves. I mean, that is really
because the devices are incuse in the dye. So anything on the field, unless it's soft, isn't going to go into those incuse areas on the dye.
Well, unless it goes deeper than the device itself.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it's soft enough to go into those. Or unless it's hard enough, that it'll push right through it. Yeah, true, Chris. But most of the time with structures like that, that's the way you'll see them.
Yeah, Wanda, you're exactly right. We don't have eggshells around here. Walk around as you please.
YouTube is not the place to be. Trust me. YouTube is, because I do get easily offended. It's not that I don't. Okay, I want to reword that before Chris jumps all over me. I don't easily offended. I get my feelings hurt when cruel things are said about me. Let me put it that way. But I talk to my friends and they get me through it and I get over it.
The harsh reality.
That's a difference. When it's a personal jab at you, that's one thing. When it's a generalized statement. No, please don't.
Paula, don't take it personally, because 100% of the people living on this earth will not like you.
I know. I know. It's okay. I'm okay with that.
It's always going to be like that, kind of like 98%, 99%. And then there's that 1%, that they live vicariously through hurting other people. And sometimes we're caught in the crosshairs. That's what social media is. It's it can be an outlet for some people. It's the other outlet that hurts other people.
That's true. Well, that's why we say all the time to people, when we're evaluating your coins, it's nothing personal. We're not evaluating you as a person. It's just your coin. Some people can't separate themselves from their coins, so they take it personally. And then they don't
want me to find the good stuff, Paula.
I know, right? That couldn't be further from the truth. I get so excited when people find good stuff, and everybody who comes into this Q&A knows that.
Man, back to Eric Moritz and this coin. What a find, man!
Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a good one.
All right, next.
So, can I say something real quick about that coin? We had a couple questions this week that were miners struck through grease. And I replied that these don't typically carry any premium. They're minor. When you find major strike throughs, that's when you get into them having some value to certain collectors. That coin right there would have some value to collectors who collect those types of things.
Well, I would go so far as to classify struck through a foreign object a little different than struck through grease, right?
Well,
grease is intentionally
that actually could be grease, though, Shay. That could be a big chunk of the grease filling that's got the metal shavings and everything else in it, because that stuff gets really hard.
No, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, it could have come from one of those leaf areas being filled and dropped out and struck into the coin. So,
I love being schooled by you. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, don't apologize. I was totally being serious. Thank you.
I had to be kind of I had to step into the die a little bit on that one to understand the device going through the anomaly.
Well, we know those fillings get hard, right? Because we've seen those dropped letters.
Yeah, for sure.
We've seen those struck through dropped fillings that are like a perfect letter, and they're hard.
I think it was just thrown off a little bit by the feathery appearance to it. You know, it's actually beautiful. And usually, when I think grease struck through, I think of like the surface is annihilated a bit, and that's about as deep as it goes.
Yeah, Eric, you're 100% right. I mean, you got to look at both sides. If you were just looking at
feeder fingers, the directions of those feeder fingers is actually a really good example of the new way, the way they strike the dies, the way they strike the coins now. With that, because that's the direction the feeder finger pushes those out. Right? Somebody? Anybody?
Bueller?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. All right, I guess you want me to read this one? Christina Mirabella, 1958p, Roosevelt dime. Good evening, everyone. While searching my dime rolls, I came across this 1958p, which looks like Roosevelt was in a fight and earned a fat lip. I think this is what is called a cud. Since I'm only into coin collecting since September, I need your expertise. Thank you for your help. Well, thank you, Christina, for sending this in.
All right, and welcome. Oh!
Now, a cud would normally be it is defined as on the edge of the coin. Because a piece of the die actually has fallen out before striking the coin. And so the metal rushes in and you have a large sort of a blob on the edge of the coin from rim back to rim. All right. And that's kind of an important distinction, whereas this is more interior located and not touching the rim. So it's something else.
Looks like herpes.
It does look like he got hit in the mouth. He looks like that kid on the school bus when I was in 5th grade. He said something about my mom. That's what he looked like when I got done.
And this looks, it's still a die break, but an interior die break.
Can we see the reverse again? Do I see some stuff
I think this
going
is
on
a
in the
67.
reverse?
Is that what the year was?
Okay. No, I thought I saw something going on there, but looks normal.
Yeah, I think I actually gave her the link to dye chips, dye break.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good size. It's a good size chip
Motion.
for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But well placed and a good find. Those are, I like keeping those little oddities like that too. It's neat.
Here you go, Wanda. Sold. Wanda bid $1. You made 90 cents. Sold. Raspberry Rosie.
She wore a raspberry beret.
Now you guys go look for these. Look on your 1970.
It was 1958. Pete.
P. Or I thought that was a D on the back though, wasn't
That's
It
it?
was a D.
Matt.
Wasn't it? It is a D. I don't know. I'm looking at the spreadsheet. I should maybe look at the email.
Yeah, I thought it was a 67.
Do, 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 do. Do, do. It's a 58.
I don't know.
It's-
And that is a D. Yep. Yes, sirree.
Kind of my diamond.
Look at Roosevelt looking all smug there.
I hate dimes.
All right.
How many we got left?
Just a couple. Are you ready, Jeff?
Yeah, if we are out, if Amanda's out, I'm actually ready. Or she
Well,
wants to
I have 2 more, but something froze up again.
All right. While you do that, let me kind of get myself oriented here. And where did
She
stream?
wore a raspberry beret. The kind you find at a secondhand store.
And like serious internet issues. So
Hey, panel, I need your help to determine if this is possibly an RPM or not. From looking in Variety Vista, it appears that if it is a true RPM, it could possibly be 003. I took a few pics of the obverse to show that I don't think it would be 1 or 2 because the die markers are not there. What do you kind folk think? Damage? Thanks a bunch. Shannon Smith.
All right, picture viewer.
Another 58.
Another 58. This is full view here. Let me get down to the. There we go.
Oh. Oh my.
I'm not sure if we've. I don't know if it's. If it is, it's not 03 because I actually looked at the mint mark position and it is too close to the side of the torch there. And it's not quite. It was on 03, the mint mark or the back, the serifs on the mint marks are lined up with the serifs on the B up here. So it's kind of the straight line for the D should actually come over here a little bit, not quite so much that close to the torch. So it's not 03. I'm kind of questioning the RPM on it. It looks a little flat.
Yeah, I think it's MD
Yeah.
around the entire backside, around the entire curvature of the D. I can see, almost looks like a notch at the top left.
That's the one thing that kind of it's got me questioning. Is it an RPM or not? Is that a notch? But
positioning similar to number 1. But no, I just think it's MD.
yeah. And I've seen a lot of MD on the late 50s and early 60s in dimes. I've been tricked myself before. I actually thought I'd cherry picked some a couple of years ago and got them home and really started looking at them, learning what MD was, and realized I didn't have them. There's Amanda. All right. So I think everybody's in agreement that we think that's MD. It's certainly not RPM 03.
Yep.
Yeah.
Capital currency, no, that's not really a thing necessarily. But when you have that flat shelf-like appearance, it's almost always MD.
All right.
My only concern would be that the slide there obliterated the bottom of the mint mark to be able to determine.
Yeah.
Because of those splits at the top, man, that was driving me crazy.
All right. Ready for the next coin?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, Amanda, are you ready? Or do you have one, Jeff, or is it Amanda?
I've got one. I can go ahead and run mine out, and by then she'll be back and ready.
Eric Moritz asks, other than the War Nickels, are there other Philly RPMs?
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question because you don't think of that so much, do you? All right, I'll go ahead and read this one from Jeff Bradley. I think this is the RPM 001. I had a question about different stages of die markers. Will a marker that is pictured as late die state also exist on an early die example, and so on? I'm a bit confused about that.
Well, you certainly can. I mean, don't think of a stage as, I don't want you to think of it as a point in time of specificity. Every time there is an opportunity for that die to alter after every strike. I'll say that. So you can literally have every strike be a stage. Now more realistically, you have sort of transitions between stages. So, a die crack could be bigger, it can appear, a new die break could appear, or chip, or anything, all these little things happen, and you can see them. And so it's not always an off-on switch to go from stage to stage. But there, a lot of times the assessment is on, the die, where, how much has the die been worn as well. and the visible aspects of that.
All right. Paula had looked at this one earlier.
Thanks, Shannon. Didn't see that one up close, huh?
Oh, was I not on the solo view?
That's a.
So what is that? I'm not familiar with this. That's certainly the broken punch. You can see where the D is not punched out there. But is that a match for 001?
What year is that?
79.
Yeah, I'm used to finding the 79 that fools everybody into thinking it's a RPM, but this is different. Look at that, south and east.
Take a look.
And this is copper.
I have been guilty of throwing 79Ds back and not looking at them as hard as I possibly should.
For sure. Well, okay. Kind of looks like 70. The 001. Do you want to check the mint mark positioning? I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Let's see what die markers. Numerous die scratches east-west on obverse. That's real fair. Real great. Okay, look under Liberty and see if you have east-west die scratches under Liberty. B to T.
Not. I think we just have 3 in the photo set.
Okay.
It's a little hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, I do agree that it's. I do think that this is RPM 001. Anybody disagree with that? Anybody else check that out?
I am going to take a look myself.
Here, I can share. Let's see. Share screen.
I think it looks like a match.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is the east-west die scratches under Liberty. We don't seem to have that on the coin, but we do have good mint mark position. And you see it to the east and to the south here and this corner.
And copper coins actually listed as actually being kind of a tough one. $79D is a year not known for varieties, therefore not heavily searched. That's
And he's got
thank you for sharing that. It looks
2 prominent die gouges near rim between IT of United on the reverse. Maybe that's a good one to look at. Let's see if he has a photo. Oh, yeah, look at that. See if you have that one on yours.
Maybe.
Kind of on the edge. Didn't quite get it, huh?
Yeah.
Picture in the picture. Okay. Oh,
Sometimes if I go out a little bit where you don't see quite as much of the pixelation, it'll show up better.
that's looking pretty good. That's the right direction.
I would. My best advice would be to. I'm pretty sure if it's there, it probably has that marker. Is look for the one between the I and the T.
Very cool.
Yeah. And for over a 40-year-old coin, condition not terrible, not bad at all.
Yeah. So there is this regret thing. All the 79Ds I threw out without looking.
That's why the long face.
Yeah. Oh well, there's nothing I can do except remember next time.
Yeah, Paul is convinced. All right. That is the end of my picture set.
Way to go, Jeff. Thank you for submitting that.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Oh, Jeff Bradley. Yeah. But good job, Jeff. I'll give you some accolades. Well done, sir.
Yeah. I think we lost Chris.
Yeah. Are we Amanda, are you ready or do you need me to
I think I'm good. I have 2 more. I had to shut OBS down completely. And this next one was really long, so I've actually got 2 pages to show it.
From Shannon Smith, 1960 Descent. Hey, panel, back with another LCS find cherry pick that I would like your confirmation on. I'm pretty sure I'm correct, but this should be the 1960D large over small date, DDO. Wow. All right, I have tried to show all the focal points on the obverse listed in Variety Vista with the pictures to help confirm, but I think that the date and mint mark may be all that is necessary for this one. I'd also like your thoughts on approximate grade here, as I think it is in pretty decent shape. I am thinking possibly a red-brown AU55, maybe? There is one ding in the obverse right field, but doesn't appear to be really bad damage anywhere else, really. I'm not going to pay for grading as I don't feel it would be good enough for that. But wanted your thoughts if I am way off in what I think I see. I just watched a small video from 2017 by this dude named Blue Silver Dog or something like that. And he said these are pretty valuable even in circulated condition. So I feel pretty good about this pickup from my LCS for $1. They really had no idea. Thank you for all your help, as always. And just kidding, Sean. Someday I hope to be able to run with you big dogs.
You guys picking out of the LCS to save some for the rest of us. My gosh. No, seriously, love seeing it. Oh, gosh. Look at that.
These stupid YouTubers like to give out all the trade secrets. Right common sense measures. Where is blue balls? What the hell? I leave for 1 second. You guys just, man.
Look at that 0. Small over large. Yeah, I agree with that, Paula.
That would have stopped me dead in my tracks if I ran across that in the LCS.
Oh, this is on my bucket list. I've got to find one of these someday. I bought so many rolls of 60. 60 Ds to try to find this thing, and it's just eluding me constantly.
Well, so did the Wisconsin's extra leaf at one point, right?
Well, yeah, that's true. And I have a low and a high leaf found coin roll hunting, so.
It only helps that they distributed a lot of those Shea in the Texas region.
And where?
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've only found one of each, so definitely difficult for me. All right, so about the other doubling. And where does it match?
There was an RPM on there as well.
Yeah, that RPM, the D over D. Yeah, look at that thing. That stands out.
Dual variety at its best.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to have any trouble with that. That's DDO1 RPM 100 FS 101. I love the multi-varieties. If you guys didn't know that, I'm always accepting them as gifts.
Just make sure there's a 5 on the cheek before you give it to them.
And we were behaving so well tonight.
Beautiful. Wow. Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled. $1, man. Yeah. Just gonna cry. It's essentially, if you don't know, this is really a dream coin. This is what I dream of at night. Well done, sir.
I can imagine finding it roll hunting, but just sitting in an LCS, was it like in a box? Did it?
This really credits the statement about knowledge is everything in this hobby.
I need to find that LCS. Yeah, it just goes to show you that, as far as all kidding aside, when it comes to varieties, you as somebody who cherry picks or whatever does have an advantage sometimes, even over the LCS owner. They don't have time to go through that entire stock and look for varieties and errors. A lot of times, sometimes that stuff gets overlooked. Simply because they do not have enough time if they've got a massive stock. So we want to take this, or I take it.
Adam Chambers, eBay Cherry Picks. Good evening, panel. Hope everyone had a good holiday. I just thought I would share some of my recent eBay cherry picks. LOL, laughing out loud. I started getting concerned when I was hearing about eBay to stop selling coins in 2021. Thank goodness that wasn't the case. That would mean no more eBay cherry picking. Check out what I found. Have a good evening.
$55 full bell lines. Oh, pronounced Bugs Bunny. Look at that.
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
That is a nice. That is a nice Bugs Bunny variety. What we're looking at is a just a die clash where the mouth of Franklin on the front is aligned with the eagle feathers or the eagle wings, the little one on the back next to the bell. And that clash gives the effect of the vampire teeth or Bugs Bunny or rabbit teeth.
This is one of those Adam had sent a few weeks ago, and somehow we missed it last show. So thank you for being patient with us, sir.
Yeah. Adam does a really good job of picking through these things and finding stuff that somebody else has missed.
Oh, he's a champ.
Yeah. Oh, did I say it was a 50? It's a 54. 54S.
I think there's two. There's a 55 in there too. I think it's two different ones.
Two 55s and a 54S.
Yeah.
This kind of goes back to, when we were talking about that dime earlier, where it's not just double dies and RPMs and repunch dates that get some of the accolades in varieties. It could be something as simple as a die clash, where you can actually get where that'll actually make a cherry picker listing.
Well, it certainly provides an additional challenge. Let's say you were to go collect all the Bugs Bunnies for the entire series. That would be a challenge.
Yes.
And I think Adam has actually probably achieved that almost, if not.
He hasn't achieved it. He's pretty darn close. I know he's got a couple of the extremely tough years. That and the goiter varieties and the booger nose.
I love the re-engraved designs on the proofs. Man, I've been after those for a while now. And then you get the whole set done, and you start upgrading to higher graded coins.
Mm-hmm.
It's an addiction.
I know back before I was really doing varieties, I was getting really close to finishing my Liberty Head nickels, and I was thinking, well, there's no real varieties in this series. I don't really, what's next for this? Do I just upgrade my Liberty Head nickels? What's next? There's actually varieties in that series, and that adds depth and interest and presents a whole new challenge for when you're completing a set. Something beyond just filling up holes in albums. Yeah, I know some people love to do that, and I still love to do that. Trust me, I've got plenty of albums that are still challenging me on filling up those holes. But that's not what gets me excited anymore. It's the varieties. It's the thrill of the chase. All right. Well, congratulations, Adam. Have we reached the end?
That was my last one.
And on that night. Well, does anybody have any further, commentary? Any words of wisdom for going into the next week?
Well, I just went through a box of $50 and I found a 90%er and a 40%er and 4 double dies. So you can, if I were interested in keeping the die breaks and clashes and die cracks and stuff like that, I would have a whole lot more, but I already have a lot of examples of those. So that was just a random box somebody ordered for me out of nicety over Christmas, so I was very pleased. I've been averaging 1 silver a box, but at least 10 varieties usually.
Mhm.
So there's a lot to be found out there, you guys. And the quarters, I found 15 varieties, DDRs in the quarters, the box quarters I did last week. So it's out there. You just got to look.
And just because they're not listed doesn't mean they're out there. I've got and I don't have my picture queued up.
I think I was gonna. I have a 70S RPM that I couldn't find listed. I was gonna get a third eye on it.
Oh, cool. But one of the new 2020 quarters, I think I may have a discovery on. I'm going to get that sent in. It's a Rockefeller, the one with the. Is that it? I get those mixed up. The Vermont, where you've got the girl planting the tree. There's a little extra branch on it.
The Rockefeller one, I think, is the land one with the planting. Oh, right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think that is the Rockefeller.
And you found that one?
I think I found that one. So I'm going to get that sent into Wexler pretty quick.
Oh man, nice.
I mean, I have to show that. I'll put that on the next show. Show everybody. Actually, wait. I did that little GIF.
Hey, A and B McGee, it's Paula treating you well in chat? Well, while these two guys are searching for something, I'll let everybody know that there's still a lot of residual good coins to find in circulation, as Shay had brought up from the holidays. You guys know that a lot of people deposit some coins into the bank, and it's usually better quality stuff to search through. So there's still some of that. I would expect the brand new 2021s to hit here in a few weeks. Usually they roll out with pennies, but they got the newest installment of the final installment of the National Park Series coming out here in a few weeks too. So quarters, that is. Anyways, that's my 2 cents.
Bear with me. I'm trying to get this up.
Oh, this was my 70S DDO.
A little thing hanging off of the bottom bar of the L.
Yeah, a little rotation, a little class 5, K3. Bar L, huh? Don't tell Eric, though. I found 4 of them in a row I got from him. So.
Yeah, don't tell Eric. He's not in chat or anything.
No, Eric, Blues coins. I haven't seen him tonight, so maybe he won't watch it back.
Oh, Blues coins? Not the other Eric?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right. That's not going to work. The GIF doesn't show up on OBS. I'll just have to. I'll do a side by side next week, and I'll show everybody. So that's a little bit of what to come. A new possible discovery for 2020 quarters.
what is a decent, inexpensive scope to buy? I really need to order one. Well, I would, when you're just starting out, you can go cheaper. And what's that one that a couple of folks have gotten them for around $20, and they're decent starter scopes. You don't have to spend a lot to get a decent scope, but eventually you'll probably, you do want to decide whether or not you want to go with something with like 1,000 times magnification. And then trust me, if your eyes are like mine, there's two things, right? One, a lot of people will say if you go beyond 7x magnification or 30x magnification, it's too much. You'll find too many things, too many little nits. But for my eyes, I like to have the entire 1900 pixels by 1280 pixels picture on my screen when I hunt, because it's less eye strain, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so and looking through a loop at thousands upon thousands of coins can really strain your eyes. So I like to go for big magnification, the ability to do video in high definition. And so if you're thinking long term, if it's really something, if you bought into the hobby, then buy into good equipment. Otherwise, you'll be spending more money buying multiples. I always, my wife and I had gone through this thing where we did the stroller. We had one kid and we bought one stroller, and then we had a second kid, so we bought the side-by-side stroller. And then we decided that wasn't good because the car seats, we had to take them out of the car seats. So then we had to get a side-by-side where you could put the car seats in. And then she couldn't get through the aisle, so we had to go by a front and back one. So you can get into the same thing with coin scopes, right? Next thing you know, you have 7 coin scopes that you don't use. So do a little research, find what's right, the right price for you and what you want to spend. And so read the review.
Are you relieved, Shay, to get that off your chest about the whole?
I am.
I know you've been following up inside of you for the last X amount of years, but we're glad that you.
That sounded like a little bit of therapy, didn't it?
Well, see, a little bit of a rant, right?
Learn from my failure to plan.
Oh man!
Thank you for the tip on the shoulders. I thought you might appreciate that. Hey, baby. Congratulations, by the way.
10 weeks Prego. A and B.
Of course, if you buy a double stroller and you only have one child, people will be asking you questions. Where's the other one? Well, that was fun tonight. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, it was. Actually, I do have a line on a cheap scope that I use for varieties that actually does a pretty good job. I don't typically like to endorse stuff, but you can't beat the price for $18.
Yeah, learn to use and master the cheap ones before you upgrade to a bigger, better model. It's always better to do that rather than starting off with the $500 Celestron and trying to work your way backwards because you felt like you spent way too much money. It has too many features.
Yeah. So this one has served its purpose. It's got a nice flat base. There's no clips, right? And I take a piece of that foam board and I put the coin on it and I move it around like that, right? And it's got nice adjustments. I can move this up or down, and I can do a fine focus, and I have a large focus here. This will get the distance up or down. And the other nice thing is you can also turn this to the side and set it on some books so you can get very large coins in the picture. And it can go also up close. You guys have seen me use it. I just used it a minute ago, and you can see how close it gets. And it has light. Now, I do sometimes turn the LED lights off and use external lights. I've got like 6 lights hanging around, all these different lights here. But yeah, large, sturdy base, flat, good adjustments.
Yep. This is that scope that I just posted on there, but I bought I think it's you can get the stand for like another $20. And these are common. Just look for microscope stand and throw that on there. And of course, I've got my special modifications where I've got some photographic cloth to where I can shoot where it diffuses the LCD lighting, which is pretty harsh on proof and uncirculated coins. Anything silver, it's pretty tough on. So I've got that I've got it kind of taped on there. Does a good job. Not bad for a $20 investment for the coin, or excuse me, for the scope, and the $20 investment for the stand. The stand that comes with that one I posted on there is terrible. That's a plastic piece of junk. The scope's good though.
And I do prefer ones without the little LCD screens. I'm not a big fan of those. They kind of limit you. So,
yeah.
And you don't have to worry about whether, usually the software drivers on Windows or Mac will just pick most cameras up that are connected by USB. You can have some difficulties with Bluetooth. I know some people that have the Bluetooth ones and they have some trouble, like they can't use some other device, some other Bluetooth device at the same time as they're using that Bluetooth device. And so just be careful. I mean, it's all about what our needs are. Some people want to be able to see it on their phone. Other people,
Amber slipped in here.
Hey, Amber.
On us. She's got the fancy dino scope.
Well, I hope you're doing well too. Yeah, and this I've looked at scopes that could be $3,000 or $4,000. Oh my goodness, you can spend as much as you want.
You can go broke on scopes.
Yeah. And macro photography. Once you get into like photographing coins, oh my goodness, there's a science behind it.
Yeah, there are guys that start their own businesses doing nothing but coin photography.
Mm-hmm.
And they try and get contracts with like Heritage and PCGS and all that stuff, or they work for the graders to do that sort of thing.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much finishes up for the evening. I want to thank everybody in chat who was here, came in and participated and hung out with us and put up with our rants. Thank you for my fellow panelists for coming in and talking about coins, and thank you all for submitting your coins and having us take a look. Want to wish you all a good rest of the week, and we just want to thank you for coming in and seeing us. Thank you very much. Bye.
Have a great week. Good luck.
Take care, guys.